So Diana, thank you so very much.
All right. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks. And so I was asked to talk about why we need the products. And for me, that's two-layered, why we need to supplement in general, but also why specifically the Mannatech products. So that was the basis of my presentation. So I will just share my slides. We're talking about why do we need the products? And I believe that it all comes down to the concept of nature's design. What did nature intend for us in order to thrive and be well? And so I'd like to start by just going on a bit of a journey together and thinking about, getting down in the reality of how our body is actually designed to work. So if you just think about our breath, for example, we're breathing in and out every day. That's delivering oxygen into our lungs. It's crossing the lung barrier there into the bloodstream, and it's delivering oxygen out to the cells of our body for to deliver energy. And so if you think about we're just breathing in and out every day, whether we're aware of it or not, all day, all night. And if you think about all the environments that you traverse in the nature of your day and just breathing in, breathing out, and our bodies just naturally has a mechanism to deliver that oxygen for our energy and our aliveness. And then if you think about what you've consumed today, what you've eaten, what you've drunk through the course of the day. And this isn't a journey of judgment. It's a journey of observation of how our body is designed. So we've consumed something, it's gone down into our stomach, our pancreas, our gallbladder released enzymes to start digesting that food. It's gone down into our intestines and gradually being broken down into the micronutrients. So that would be the vitamins and minerals, the fatty acids, the phytonutrients. The food is broken down into these micronutrients. They go across the wall of the intestine into our bloodstream, and these micronutrients are delivered out to the cells of our body. So based on the nutrition that we've consumed defines what these micronutrients get out to the cells of the body for delivering energy and vitality and health and rejuvenation. And so then if you just imagine zooming into a cell, just one cell, can be any cell, and just thinking about all the activity that's happening within the cell, around the cell, upon the cell, as this nutrition is delivered from our food and also the oxygen through the air that we breathe. And all of this is the basis of our delivering our optimal well-being. That's nature's design. So if we're thinking about this visualization or this concept, and we're talking about our cellular structure, what are we made up of? We're just made up of trillions of cells. Science says about 40 trillion of them, very intelligently arranged and designed. So what is it, based again on this visualization, what is it that our cells need every single day for optimal health? Well, the foundation of our energy and thriving in nature's design is 100% nutrition. So I'm not talking just about the macronutrients there. So we consume proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. We're talking about those micronutrients that the food is broken down to. And these are the building blocks of our health and well-being: the amino acids, the fatty acids, vitamins and minerals, phytochemicals. And as we know in the Mannatech community, the importance of the nutritional glycans. And of course, also the air that we're breathing. And we'll talk a little bit about the quality of air that we're breathing in a moment. So if we're talking that, if we're understanding that nutrition is the very basis of our vitality, then it's worth thinking about what is the status of our daily nutrition. Now, obviously, that depends on your dietary choices, but it also depends on what's happening out there in our food supply. And, I rarely get any arguments these days that our nutrition in our food is significantly compromised. And there's several factors behind this. There's growing our food over and over on the same soils without replenishing the broad spectrum of nutrition that needs to be in the soil. If it's going to be in the plant, if then it's going to be delivered to the cells of our body. And we're picking our food green before it's ripened on the vine, significantly reducing the nutritional value further. And then we're adding a whole range of chemicals to our farming practice. I want to share with you a little story about my nan. And in the 1970s, my nan lived next door. We were very close. And she used to share stories with me about her childhood. And I remember her telling me, now she was born in 1910, and this is 50, 60 years later in the 1970s. She used to tell me then that the food didn't taste as good as it did when she was a child. So that's 50 years later. Now we go another 50 years forward from the 70s to now to the 2020s, and there's extensive science showing the depletion in the nutritional content of our food in just these 50 years. So it happens slowly outside of our direct perception, but the science is there showing the depletion in that nutritional content that is actually nature's design for our health. And then on top of that, we're storing and transporting our food for longer and longer distances and longer periods of time. Now, how many of you have ever bought an apple from the supermarket in, say, December, January, and it looks fantastic on the outside? You get it home, you bite into it, and it's all brown and floury on the inside. And I'm sure many of you have had that experience, and it's not very pleasant, is it? And how much nutrition do you think is actually in there? It was picked in the middle of winter, so we're now 6 or 7 months later, and that's the status of our food. So this is happening throughout our food supply, and we're, modern man's doing the best of our efforts, but the nutritional quality is just not there. And then on top of that, we're over processing our foods, and so much so that some of the leading nutritionists are now saying that one of the most dangerous places for our health is the supermarket. And then, we're all living in a modern world, living modern lifestyles, not always making the best dietary and lifestyle choices on a daily basis. And that's putting further pressure on our health at that cellular level. This was an interesting slide shared by Dr. Nugent in one of his presentations. And it's showing, once we get the food home and then we further process it, we freeze it, dry it, cook and drain it, we reheat it. And these are the kinds of nutrient losses that happen on top of already depleted nutrition, anywhere from, 5, 10 up to 70, 80% nutritional loss. So despite our best efforts, it's more difficult than ever to get the nutrition that we need for our vitality from our food. And sadly, on top of all of this, there are two other modern pressures on our health. And one is the level of stress that we're under. I was talking about my grandmother. We are under way more stress than our grandparents were. There's just so much input and demand and expectation on our lives in our modern world. And it causes chemical changes in our body that affects our health. And on top of that, we've launched over 300,000 new chemicals into our environment that didn't exist before the 1930s and 40s. Our body, in nature's design, is not meant to deal with them. And many of these chemicals are undetectable through our smell. So we're talking about all those environments that you've traversed throughout your day, throughout your week, and breathing in, breathing out, being exposed to goodness knows what toxins. So we need even more nutrition to support our body in maintaining health and well-being. And so what Mannatech are doing, and this is why Mannatech nutrients in particular are important, is that science has identified what are the building blocks, the nutritional building blocks that we all need on a daily basis for our health, for our thriving, for our well-being. And in this presentation, we're focusing on it all starting at the cellular level. So we've got a picture of a cell here. And the first thing that our cells need to do is communicate. And of course, Mannatech are bringing to the table Ambritose. So Ambritose is the only supplement worldwide of the 8 to 10 known nutritional glycans. So it's absolutely vital for the very basis of our cells communicating and talking to each other. And it's this nutritional glycan complex is only available through the Mannatech nutritionals. And so again, we're talking about a cellular level. And this is, I think it's helpful to get really present on what it looks like. And this is a electron microscopic picture of the surface of a cell. And these are the nutritional glycans. It's like a forest on the cell surface. It's extremely complex. And yet this is the base. The cells rub up against each other and pass information like a coded language. I call it cellular braille. And this is how everything is communicated in our body. And yet these glycans are depleted, like all other nutrition, they're depleted in our nutritional resources on the planet. So Mannatech is where you can actually supplement, make sure your cells are coded in these nutritional glycans the way nature intended, and have a clear base of healthy communication going on within your body. And as I said, science has identified these nutritional bases that our body needs on a daily basis. And of course, you've got the nutritional glycans there. Our cells also need a form of protection, detoxification. And that is provided by antioxidants and phytonutrients. And of course, Mannatech bring to the table our world-leading Ambritose AO. And we know through several scientific studies that when people take 2 capsules of this a day, 1 twice a day, you're getting a 37% increased protection at a cellular level from all those pressures that we're talking about: toxic load, stress, and lack of nutrition. And also our Nutriverus products has some elements of these antioxidants and phytonutrients in there that help with detoxification. The other thing our cells need is nourishment. The vitamins and minerals, the fatty acids, those phytonutrients are also part of nutrition. And of course, Mannatech bring to the table a state-of-the-art multi-complex vitamin and mineral supplement catalyst, and our omega-3 fatty acids with vitamin D3. And then the other thing that our cells need is to be regulated. And that is provided by phytosterols, again, largely depleted out of our food supply. And so Mannatech are bringing to the table the product Plus, which is a phytosterol supplement to support regulation in the body. Now, the other reason that Mannatech products are particularly needed is that we're talking about nature's design. So in nature's design, we're meant to be getting nutrition from food and plants. And so wherever possible, wherever the government allows or science has advanced to the point where we can do this, the Mannatech products are derived from plant and food sources, so that you can deliver this nutrition that's missing in your food to the cells of your body for their optimal well-being. And so there we have it. Mannatech nutritionals are bringing to the table, are delivering to us, are offering us what nature intended for us to have for our optimal well-being. And that's it.
I just chatted in the comments, Dana, that I felt like going, ta-da! That last slide. Like it's like a comprehensive, handed to you on a platter, opportunity to maintain and protect your health.
Yeah.
And improve your health, obviously. So Dana, exceptional as always. You're such an encyclopedia of knowledge and a steward for our company, longstanding, as a legend in our community. So Donna, God bless you. Thank you. You know, you're just an amazing educator. It's just, you've got a gift. So what we have is worth it. And you know, participate to what's right for you. Like, and it's complete. Mannatech is completely customizable, right? Nobody's pushing you, nobody's dragging you, nobody's expecting of you. You go into your heart and you participate. Education is key because nobody has all the skills you need to have at the beginning. And I don't know, I'm sort of pushing 70, if you can believe it. And I still learn, there's so many things I'm still learning. Like we're never stop learning. And so have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for being here.